we had the chance to attend a special Mass organized for persons with disabilities because some of them will not be able to attend the final Papal Mass on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. It was held at St. Peter's Church, minutes outside of downtown Philadelphia, and where resides the shrine of St. John Newman, first American man to become a saint. It was run under the guiding hand of one nun, Sister Kathleen Schipani of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, with the help of staff and volunteers from various apostolates for the deaf community and people with disabilities. All were welcome to attend the celebration, and hundreds gathered inside the church.
I think the World Meeting worked really hard to make the papal visit and events accessible to both wheelchair users, to families who have children with disabilities, to people with disabilities themselves. For instance, everything's interpreted. The papal events, both the festival and the Mass, will be auditory described for people who are blind, and all the jumbotrons will be captioned for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. So in that way, we are trying the best we can to make the Pope accessible to everyone. And I think, as we know from following his example, it is the people that often are on the margins that he reaches out to. So as a church community, we need to do that also.
We had been involved in the Mass for Disabilities that's held yearly at the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. And we were at the World Meeting of Families volunteering when Sister Kathleen Schipani asked if we would help here. And we just said yes. Why wouldn't we?
We've actually worked with the Archdiocese of Philadelphia and the Disabilities Mass for the last 15, 20 years volunteering. So this would have normally been done the third weekend in March of every year, but they moved it to this time because of the World Meeting of Families.
Many of the participants have been affected by the life of a person with a disability, but along with its joys, it also presents challenges.
Disabilities really impact all our lives, whether it be because a child is born with a disability or an aging family member becomes disabled or even an accident. So the reality of that is that it brings some challenges. And even within the church community, in Philadelphia, most of our churches are accessible to wheelchair users, but not all of them are. With some awareness and real determined decision-making, we can end the barriers that would separate people with disabilities from being part of the parish community or the church community.
Kathleen has brought so much joy to our lives. She's always been very social. I wouldn't trade her for the world.
Trust me, when she says that, she spent 4 months in the nursing home, never left her bedside, and stayed with her for 4 months and never came home. I was a bachelor.
That's what mothers do. You do whatever you have to do. If you have a child that's sick, you want to get them well, and she needed me by her side, so I was there. But she's worth every penny of it.
As Father Mike Depchik from the Diocese of Fort Wayne said in his homily, we are all God's children and therefore are worthy of love and able to love. In a unique way, those with disabilities teach others what it means to be human.
With opportunities like this, it does really break down that fear, and it makes you realize that the innocence and the simplicity of their lives is really what we really should be striving for.
Being here makes me especially aware of how much easier my life has been than many others. People have so many hardships in the world.
After a while, we don't even see the disability. We just see the people, and I asked the question, how could you not be involved? That's the question I asked.